Welcome to Data Science with Partha. In today's video, we will discuss the attributes Iloc, is monotonic, and is unique. So we will continue using the IRIS dataset for the examples. Now, I'll be switching over to my PyCharm. And here, like we saw in the last session, we have Pandas and scikit-learn's dataset loaded, and in this you can see that we have loaded the iris data frame. So let's use this and understand how Iloc works. Now the Iloc is short for integer location. Here we can simply pass the row label of a specific column and we can get the corresponding value. So for example, I'm going to copy the code in line number 23, and instead of IIT, all I'm going to write is Iloc. Now if we run this, we get the value of 5.9. Now looking at this, you might have a question that both Iloc and the previous attribute that we saw in the last video, the IIT, are giving us the same kind of result. That is, we have entered the location and in the location number it is giving us the value. So what is the difference between IIT and Iloc? Now the difference comes when we apply Iloc attribute on a data frame directly instead of the series. So let me show you what it means. So if I take the data frame df and I mention Iloc of 149. So from line 27 and line 29, you can see that here we have applied this on the sepal length, whereas here we are applying it on the entire data frame. So if we run this, here you can see in the output, the Iloc method is going to give us the value of every column of this specific row. So row number 149, sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width, and even the target values, all the information we can see over here. So this is the basic difference between the Iloc and the IIT method. The IIT method is designed in such a way that for a specific row column combination we get a single value, whereas the Iloc method is designed for getting whatever values we have for a specific location. So if we use it on a series object, we get the same kind of output that we saw in IIT, but if we apply the Iloc method on the data frame, we can see we get the entire column information of all these particular columns for a specific row that we have requested. So here we have requested row number 149, that is row label 149, and for the row label all the column information have been given to us. Now let's look at the other attribute, that is monotonic. Now the is monotonic attribute returns a boolean value of true or false depending on the increasing or the decreasing value of the series under consideration. So for example, let's take the same sepal length column and let's apply this particular attribute on it. So here we have remove Iloc and we'll simply mention is underscore monotonic. So as soon as you run this, it's giving us the value as false. This is because this particular set of values are not in any particular order. So let's actually take a very simple example. Let's take a list and convert it into a series and apply this is monotonic on it. So for example, let's say I'm going to go for pd.series, and inside this let me pass the list 1, 2, 3. So here 1, 2, 3 are in the ascending order or increasing order. Now if I apply the is monotonic on this particular series, you can see now this value is telling that the output is true. That is, this particular set of numbers are in the increasing order. Hence the boolean of true is given to us. Now, similarly, when we had actually started typing is underscore monotonic, if you had paid attention, we had other options. So let me just copy this. And here, so as soon as I started writing monotonic, you can see we have these two options, monotonic increasing and monotonic decreasing. So if I go for monotonic increasing, this also will give us the same information. So you can choose either of these two attributes, is monotonic or is monotonic increasing, depending on your preference. Both of them give the same kind of result. That is, if the series has this particular elements in the increasing order, we get the boolean true. If it is not in the increasing order, then we have the boolean false. Now if you wanted to check whether the values are in the decreasing order, then we have the just the other opposite of monotonic increasing, that is monotonic decreasing. So all we can do is let's simply take this, and I'm just going to delete increasing and write decreasing. So it was going to give us the value false. And let's say if I change this entire series itself. So let me copy this. And here instead of 1, 2, 3, let's choose the numbers 5, 4, 3. That is, it's in the decreasing order. So as soon as I write this and when we run this thing, you'll see the value as true because it is in the decreasing order itself. Now finally, let's take a look at the is unique attribute. This particular attribute, like the name indicates, returns a boolean of true or false depending on the condition whether the elements inside this particular series are all different, that is they are unique in nature, or it returns the boolean false if the elements are having some kind of duplication in it. So for simplicity's sake, let's just copy this 5, 4, 3. All of them are 3 different elements. So if we actually run the is unique method on this particular series, then we can see it is giving the output as true because all these 3 numbers 5, 4, 3 are 3 different numbers. But let's take this particular example of the sepal length that we were looking at earlier. So I'm just going to copy this, and here if we apply the is unique method on this particular series, you should be getting the value as false because we know the sepal length can repeat. So if I take a look at the data frame, so view as data frame, when we click, you can see there are some values which are repeating. For example, in the first 10 entries itself, you can see the value 5 repeating over here. Okay, so whenever there is a repetition, that means the values are not unique. So is unique on a particular series where the values are not unique or different will give us a boolean value of false. So this is what I have for you guys in this video. In the next video, we will take a look at another set of attributes of the series object. Thank you.